Maybe my camera isn't on. How do I turn that off? Oh, I see. So I remember. Here. There. I got it. Okay, so this is a test. I have my Starlink in my on my dashboard pointing north, but there is a big mountain in front of us. And I just wanted to see if I had a strong enough signal, if I could go live without having to get up and put my Starlink up on top of the roof of my van. So far, I have had absolutely amazing results with my Starlink because we stay out in the boony woonies a lot, or I should say most of the time. And in the past, I've always waited until I could go to a place that had some kind of a signal. I'm not want to be totally isolated. I want to be able to make that help phone call if I can. And so usually, like I say, we wait until there's something going on. This Matrix, my dog. Hey Matrix. We were out playing ball here for a minute ago. We're in a parking lot, and there's some traffic going by us, so we're pretty close to the road. But there's a parking lot here that I can throw the ball for him. We are in Colorado, and I am happy to be here. It was a long way across Utah to get here. We came over through Grand Junction, and I'm headed down Breckenridge Way. I don't know if you've ever been there or not, but it's a beautiful place, and it is a place that I have been many times more in the winter than in the summer because I spent a lot of time skiing there, and so I'm wanting to go and buy a T-shirt. I love my Breckenridge T-shirts, but also I wanted to go and make sure that I make it there in time for the Aspens. I don't know if you have ever seen the Aspens. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, the new Starlink. Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. I don't know. Do you have one? I've had it for a little while, but normally when I try to go live, I have to get out and I put it up on the roof and I do the whole phone thing going around to make sure don't have any obstructions up there. But I'm just sitting here thinking, you know what? I'm just going to give it a shot. So it's sitting on my dash up there and pointing north, right towards the mountain. But we still got enough sky, I guess. So Matrix and I are just chilling out here. We're gonna take off tomorrow. We've been it's so great so far. Okay, well, no glitches or anything. You know, like this is like the first time really I've gone live on YouTube. I'm on TikTok a lot, and I go live over there, but uh, I've always get out, and put the Starlink on my roof in order to do that, so I'd be sure I had a strong enough signal. But I'm so happy that I have. Um, oh well, thank you so much for stopping by to say hello. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm testing it right now to see if I can get by with it just on my dash, rather than having to get out, climb up on the roof every time, and stick it up there. You know, if you have one, you have to go like this with your phone to see if you have any obstructions in the way. So anyway, as you say, it's not glitching, I guess, so that's a good thing. Right, Matrix? My dog, Matrix. As I say, we just came over from Utah into Colorado, and I want to it. And last night it was 46, 47 degrees, and it not getting that much warmer during the day. So I want to always be the one who goes south and stays with the weather. And really good. No skips, no tags. Wow. Thank you so much. I'm just using the webcam on my computer. So thank you for that. Letting me know that. I appreciate it. Yeah. Nothing to no one in particular. Well, I don't know about that. You're great to me here right now. So thank you very much. But if you have never been to Colorado, um, especially Colorado with the aspens, when they turn color in the fall, then oh wow, you're just missing out on it. So that's where I want to be sure to head there. And since it's getting cold and it's not getting as warm during the day, then that means that the leaves are going to turn pretty quickly and then they'll be, gone. I'll miss them. And I don't want to miss them. So that's why I drove a long way today and I don't usually do that. And I've got, you know, quite a bit of time here tomorrow to get over to Breckenridge, and I want to spend a little bit of time there. And it's harder to find places to stay when you get in this part of the country than if you're, out where there's a lot of BLM land. Like right now, I'm just, as I say, I'm in a parking lot off in a 2-lane road, but you love my doggo. Come here, Matrix. Say hello. This is my doggo, Matrix. Say hello, baby. Say hello in the camera. Up here. Look up here. This is Matrix. He's a Cavalier. He's a year and a half old, and he can be a real pain in the butt. It's a little warm in here right now, and we just were out throwing the ball, so he's gonna pant a little bit. But he's my buddy. We travel together 24/7. We're together. So we were out looking at a he is pet of royalty, a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel, which is different than a King Charles Cavalier Spaniel. Two different breeds, two different things. A lot of people say, "Oh, is that a King Charles?" And I'm like, "Nope, it's a Cavalier." And for a long time, I didn't know the difference, but in fact, there is a difference. He must have runted the litter too. He weighed 4 ounces when he was born. He was less than 2 pounds when I got him, and I think he's about 13 pounds right now. I've had quite a few Cavaliers. I used to take him in as seniors, and so one of the first ones I took in, he was a show dog. He was gorgeous, but he weighed 25 pounds, and so he's just like a little baby compared to it. Aren't you a little baby? Oh, aren't you? So anyway, I really like having a smaller dog. I'm able to take him more places with me, and that makes it more fun, to have a dog that you can take with you more. I've tried taking him into Walmart before. That doesn't work out very well. He, you like to put him in the basket part there. Yeah, you know what? That's right. Nothing to know in particular. He was actually, the breeder was on the way to the vet with the mom to have a C-section, and he popped out in the car on the way to the vet. It's like, yeah, I'm done. I'm over this. And he had two brothers who were 3 times, 4 times his size. So when he was really small, which I got him, like I said, I got him at 52 days, and he was under 2 pounds. But she had to keep him separated. She would take him with her everywhere because his brothers were so big they could just roll over on him and smush. Becca called me. Oh, hey, Becca. That would be easier than trying to say that whole thing. It's nice to meet you, Becca. Thank you for stopping by. Like I say, I didn't really have anything planned for a chat, for a video, but I wanted to test my Starlink. But just in case you don't know me, my name is Pam, and I live in a van. And I've been in my van or a van for nearly 6 years now. And Matrix is my latest Cavalier. I had two at the same time. Most of the time I've been in my van. And I lost Coco in March. She was 10. And so that leaves me with this little runt right here. And I'm not going to get another dog. I think one is enough. But we adventure everywhere. We travel all over the United States. We don't have a home base per se. We don't have any real estate anywhere, no storage units, nothing. I do have, I last lived in Texas, and my daughter lives there. My grandkids live there. And I use my original son-in-law's address as my legal residence. And so over the holidays, Thanksgiving and Christmas, I do go back to Texas to, yeah, it's hard, Becca. because I took in seniors, and you know, when you take in seniors, this is my first puppy. Everybody was mad at me because you can't get a puppy. You're too old. I'm 71. And they're like, "Your puppy's going to outlive you." I'm like, well, my cousin has already got dibs on Matrix if I croak. And I'm scared she's going to put a hitman out on me because she wants the dog so bad. But anyway, he's a great companion. Oh, senior cats. You know, I was chatting with, or was commenting with someone today earlier who had a cat. They had just lost their cat, uh, and she was 16. I thought that was pretty good. 16, but I could beat that. I had a cat that lived to be 22. Can you believe that? It was like that cat was just not going to die, just not going to do it, no matter what. But and it was interesting because I'm not too old. Well, see, thank you for saying that. The people are like, your puppy's gonna outlive you. And then everybody's like, well, you got to make arrangements, make sure you have him placed. You don't want him to go to a shelter, and all of that stuff. But anyway, I already have him placed in case I croak. But I don't plan on it anytime soon. I love my traveling in my van very much. And I plan on doing that, like, I guess until I expire. Uh, you lost 2 cats in 2 years, and then you got a kitten to soothe your heart. Yeah, isn't that the way? I've lost I've lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seniors, but I had 2 almost all the time. I could have another 30 years. Yeah, I could, I could live to 100. I'm looking forward to see what it looks like when I'm 90 living in my van. People keep saying, looking at me, what are you going to do when you can't live in your van anymore because you're too old? And I'm like, well, I'm never going to get too old to live in my van, which is whatever. It's just not going to happen. Well, anyway, we do travel everywhere. We came from, let's see, I usually go to Maine in the summer for a few minutes because I'm from there and I have family there. So I was up in Maine. I left there in July, the 1st of July. And then where did I go? And now I came down through New England. I go through Michigan up to the UP, if you've ever been up through there. And then I did the Dakotas. I went up to North Dakota to spend some time this year because I have to shut up and mind their own business. Absolutely. I tell a lot of people to shut up and mind their own business, but whatever. Yeah, I can do that. I can just drive away. If I make somebody mad, I'll just drive away. It doesn't matter. I spent some time in the Dakotas. I went to, well, let's see. I've been to Minnesota. I went to Utah. I touched Idaho. I usually go Utah, Idaho, and then, down, follow the weather down. And, but this time I got to Utah, and I'm like, you know what? I haven't been to Colorado for, I don't know, and driven around it for maybe 3 years. So I'm going to go to Colorado. So yesterday, I decided that yesterday morning, and here I am today. I'm in Colorado. Yeah, I stand up for myself. Sometimes maybe too much, Becca. I get myself in trouble a lot, but that's okay. I don't care. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So we're gonna go through Colorado. I'm gonna stop in Breckenridge. Have you ever been to? There is an amazing national park in South Colorado. And this is crazy because it's the Great Sand Dunes National Park, and in southern Colorado, right out in the middle of nowhere, are sand dunes, and they're beautiful. And I haven't been there for 3 years, I think, maybe 4 on that one. And so I want to go there and take Matrix because you can take the dog into the sand dunes. People actually go there and they surf the sand dunes, but no. But it looks like the sand dune is up here, and it's like, oh, well, I can hike up there. It's not that far. Nope, way too far, way too far. Although people do it, I guess, and it's kind of a shifting thing. The sands kind of shift to back and forth. But if you haven't been there, it's a great place to go, a great place to visit. We went to Glacier National Park, Theodore Roosevelt National Park. Uh, we just went to Yellowstone. You've traveled the U.S., your family was career military. Yes. Oklahoma, New Mexico, North Dakota, South Dakota, Washington, Alaska, Japan, and Spain. Wow, that's a lot. I don't go any place unless I can drive there. So that would leave out Japan, and Spain. I have not been to Alaska. I really want to do that. Planned on going last year, and long story, 2 years ago. I mean, long story, but this is my second van. My first van it was out of shop being worked on, and it fell off the lift and was totaled. And so this is my second van. But that year, when we were going to Alaska, and we had the trip all planned, our group I put together, and the day before I was supposed to leave, it fell off the van. So Colorado, Aurora, I like that. Yeah, yeah. You know, I like the little towns. Have you been to Tin Cup? Becca, did you go to Tin Cup before? That's a fun place to go. I'm not going this time because I couldn't take him to Tin Cup, because Tin Cup is just this little ghost town. There's like half a dozen buildings there, but the store, they sell peanuts, and because the chipmunks, there's thousands of chipmunks, and you sit there with your peanuts and they crawl all over you everywhere. They're soft, it feels really fun. And they eat the peanuts and so forth. So, but he would not like that very well. You wouldn't, would you? We had oh, you're too young. Last night we stayed in the place out in the wood, out in open range. We stay in open range because there's so much of it out west. I could hear the cows this morning bellowing, and he was still sleeping. I'm like, I'm not going to wake him up because I don't want him out there. I wouldn't let him out, but I don't want him barking at the cows. Oh, you were 3. Okay, that is too young, but it'd be fun. We took my granddaughter there, and she was probably 4 or 5. But anyway, so this morning we had a herd of cattle go through our camp yard. And right towards the end, and they were making a lot of noise too. Wow, the mooing part, the howling, I guess is what you call it. I don't know. Anyway, went through the camp yard, and I got some videos. But when he finally saw them, oh, he went ape shit. He's all over the van, up there, out there, parking, carrying on. And they went by. I was pretty sure they had all gone by. And so I let him out to go to the bathroom and go potty. And I let him, and when we're at places like that, after we've been there a day or so and he's done a little exploring, I let him off leash, but I keep a close eye on him. But I let him off leash. And I opened the door and he went out to go potty. And there were 5 or 6 stragglers, cows coming down the road. And yeah, right in back of us. He went absolutely crazy, barking and carrying on and carrying on. Ghost towns at paranormal are popular in October. Yeah. Might want to film some for the clicks. Yeah. Have you ever been to Jerome, Arizona? Oh my gosh, that's a ghost town, and they go all out. They have the whole haunted house all year round. But yeah, I might be able to do that. Go to some places like that. Yeah, it's coming right up, isn't it? Yeah, the cows. And then so we left, and so I'm driving down where was I? I was on I-70. Was I on No, I hadn't got on I-70 yet. I was in the back road. But here they come down the middle of the road right at me. So I stopped. Obviously you let the cows do what they want to do. And some on this side of me, some on this side of me, and then I look, and there's a cowboy. He's herding the cattle. And so it was very interesting to watch. They mostly all went down the road, but there were a couple stragglers that went up off off the road and onto the bank. And he went up there as the cowboy. He goes up there and he's getting them down, getting them down. It was really fun to watch. I enjoyed it. And he barked all the time, of course. And one of them, well, a couple of them actually came right by the door. You know, they were that close. I could have reached out and touched him. And so he's like going crazy. Yeah. Arizona, I spent a lot of time in Arizona um, in the winter. I go there to, yeah, me too. I'm a good cowboy. I couldn't see him very well. One time when I was boondocking, I don't remember where I was now, but a cowboy came, a real one. I said, "Are you a real cowboy?" He was. He was looking for cattle. You know, on open range, I guess they get all scattered out. And he said that's actually a rustler still in this world. They rustle cattle. I'm like, well, I didn't know anything about that. But yeah, I go to excuse me, it's dry air. Arizona I go to Quartzsite in Arizona, 1st of January, because it's the RV mecca of the world. Is literally the estimate is that there are 2 million people that go there in the winter, and the population of the town is 3,000. So in the summer, there's nobody there, of course, because it's so hot. But in the winter, it gets flooded. It's an RV show, and of course, quartzite. So there's a lot of rocks around, and there's rock shows, and they have the tents where you buy the hats and t-shirts and all of that stuff. So, but there are so many people there, and I don't stay in a campground. And pretty much nobody else does either. There's thousands of places to stay, so it's a lot of fun. And then as it starts getting warm, normally what I do is start moving north. Or last year I think I went up to Lake Havasu, and then I went back to Texas, and then I went up to Maine. I have to write these things down where I've been. Actually, what happens is I take a lot of pictures everywhere I go, and the pictures are all that you take on, well, at least on my iPhone, they're all time stamped, and they also are tell you where you were. And so that's pretty much the only way I know where I've been. So bad. And then again, I don't remember which year I went anywhere. I've gone to several national parks where I give my book to get stamped. And I've already been there before, and I go, get the new stamp, and I say, "Oh, I was here 3 years ago. I was here 2 years ago. Oh, I was here last year." I love going to the national parks. They're so beautiful. There's so many of them, and of course, Yellowstone was good. And it was very crowded, and but I was fortunate. I got there like right 10 minutes before the geyser went off. Old Faithful went off, so I didn't have to wait for that. It just happened. But yeah, that's a pretty park. It's big, 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 big. Um, you wish your dad left. Oh, he had a VW van. Oh, why didn't he? Why didn't he? The people scare you on the East Coast? Are you kidding me? Too pushy? Well, on the East Coast. Well, the Northeast is what I'm thinking of. I'm thinking I don't want to go on the West Coast. People are too pushy over there. Last year, I went to Oregon and Washington. I've really not spent much time in California. I don't really like it. I go to Joshua Tree quite a bit, which is a national park in Southern California. But Washington and Oregon, beautiful, beautiful. But I didn't go again this year. The gas is too expensive. Yeah. All you know, you watch too much Dateline, Becca. He left. Oh, he left to be a stepbrother. He fixed it with. Oh no! Like people saying that you're scared. I'm scared. I don't really find anything to be scared of. I have found that the van life community and or the full timers at least, even whether they're a pickup camper or schoolie or travel trailer, fifth wheel, whatever. The full timers we have is a community, even though we don't actually know each other, but we stick together and we we feel safer that way, even though we're not friends. Do you know what I mean? But no, I'm not scared of anything. I had a glitch. The sound glitched. Okay. It's pretty windy right here. I don't know. But I've been on here for 25 minutes, and if that's the first glitch, because you probably haven't been on here the whole time, um, but I'm very happy about that because that means I can do this like every day. Sometimes I'll have a stronger signal, but I'll tell you what, Starlink has totally, totally, totally saved me because I like to go live. Like I say, I'm on TikTok a lot. I like to do videos and upload them. And if you don't have a signal, or if it takes you 2 hours to upload a short, then so Starlink, it's not cheap, but it's well worth the money. Mm. Yeah, it's a community, and that I mean, people do travel in groups and they do meetups, but I'm kind of a loner. I'm not part of the herd, but still, like if you stop you're going to stay overnight at a rest stop, let's say, for instance, and there's another van there too. Might not talk to each other, but there's still that safety camaraderie that goes with it. But I've stayed in them by myself too. I don't know. It's kind of like, I think of it like this. When you have a sticks and bricks and you live in the sticks and bricks and you go home at night and you go in and you lock, close your doors and you lock them and you close your curtains and all of the stuff, you feel safe. Well, I feel safe. I do the same thing. And probably I even get to feel a little bit safer because if I had something happen, somebody knocked on my van or whatever, I just drive away. Simple. But I've never had any problems. I've had a couple of door knocks. Both of them, well, one of them was at a Cracker Barrel, but the other two were at Walmart's. And the first one, I said, it's okay to stay, but can you park over there instead? So I had to drive over there, and he told me to park right underneath the sign that said no overnight parking. So that's where I parked. On the second one, I was pushing my luck. I stayed there one night. It rained the whole next day, and I didn't feel like driving anymore. So I came back and was to stay there the second night, and I got the knock. And I said, we appreciate we're happy to have you here for one night, but so. And the Cracker Barrel one was, again, I don't remember where I was, but it happened to be there was a big convention center and the Cracker Barrel was right there, and the Cracker Barrel actually rented the land from the convention center. And so the convention center says, no, you can't have any overnight people around. So I had to, I know where that was. It was in Las Vegas. It was in Las Vegas. Las Vegas. When you live in a van, you have to be careful where you go because you can't fit into normal parking spots. I mean, if you have a shorter van, yeah, but mine's 22 feet long and I'm a high top, so I'm not really a good with the AC and stuff on the top. Not really good stealth parker either. But anyway, you miss living. Oh, at an RV at your friend's resort. Oh, it's so great, isn't it? Um, they always wanted to try Cracker Barrel. Here's what's happening. People are saying, "Oh, Vanlife is against the law now. You can't live in them." I was like, people they go carrying away all this stuff. But what's happening is, and a lot of cities and towns have been this way for a while, but more and more are, that they're making a city ordinance that says no overnight parking within the city. And so Cracker Barrel's kind of like always look the other way, and Walmart's kind of like every once in a while they're like, we don't care, whatever. But more and more are doing that, and so as a consequence, we just have to stay out of the cities. Just stay out, in the boonies somewhere. I mean, it's not illegal to be. It's people say it's not illegal to be homeless. Okay, that's just it's not. But I know in the cities they're trying to encourage people to not stay there and encourage programs for the homeless to, get them settled. But yeah, whatever. I just stay out in the woods, out in the boonies. I was up in Bighorn National Forest a couple of weeks ago, and I ended up staying 4 or 5 days. And I don't usually stay that long, but it was so gorgeous up there, and I found it an amazing place to boondock. It was off the road, and it was about an acre. It was that big of open field, and a giant fire pit, great place to stop, great place for him so he could play ball. Uh, and, there are places like that that I remember more than some of the other places that I stay, but I take pictures everywhere I stay so I can remember if it was any good. I've already taken a picture of where I am right now, so I can remember if I liked it here or not. And I'll have to, oh, the feed cut out. It did. Yeah, it's a little windy, but it's working pretty good so far. I'm very happy with it. Well, they're not trying to outlaw it, they're just trying to curb the homeless. That's really what it is. And the definition of homeless, we actually, if you live on the road and you don't have a permanent sticks and bricks or an apartment, a permanent place, you really are considered homeless. But it's not illegal to be homeless. It's only illegal to stay overnight in places that are currently say it's against the law to stay overnight here. Which, I mean, that makes total sense to me. Total sense. A picture diary. Yeah. Yeah. I would only cut out for a couple seconds. Okay. That's good. I do. I keep it. And I don't know if you have an iPhone, but in my iPhone, it stamps where they were actually. So if I want to see, what pictures I took while I was in Vermont, I just type in Vermont and they all pop up. So it's a really good way to keep track of things because my memory is not very good at all. Not good at all. And that doesn't necessarily have anything to do with my age. But I've been living in the van for almost 6 years now. So I moved in when I was 65, and I turned 66 3 weeks later. So, but I did move in when I was 65 and never looked back. It's just you haven't had a phone in 11 years. Well, I guess I won't be calling you then. Well, but you must have internet connection because you're on here. You must have a computer or an iPad or something. See, I use my phone a lot. I don't call anybody unless I have to, a business kind of thing, call AT&T or somebody to make a plan change or whatever. But text, I do text a lot with my family, and that's about it. I don't have any friends anymore. When I moved onto the road, I didn't take any friends with me. So you're gone long enough, people forget. And they forget about you. And you forget about them, I guess, too. When I moved into my van, I was trying to just escape life. And so that's what I did. I was on Facebook, like everybody was at that time. And I didn't want everybody to, I was still working remotely, but I didn't want everybody to know that I was no longer in Texas. and I didn't want my friends and family to know everything I was doing. So I Facebook and I went to TikTok. And so I've been TikTok ever since. And I posted my first YouTube video, I don't know, 3 years ago or something, but I got so carried away over on TikTok that just really never did much on YouTube. But I started about 3 months ago posting more. Um, and I don't know why. I just felt like I wanted to. It was time. You have laptop and internet, just your family is all dead. So you don't have anyone to call. So why keep a phone? Um, I'm sorry your family's all dead. Well, Becca, it was, yeah, I mean, in a lot of ways, there was so much that happened that first couple of years too. My mom died, and my family was just a mess, the whole thing, and um, but yeah, I love the solitude. If I want to talk to somebody, I'll get on here and I'll talk to you only watch TikTok compilation. Yeah, there you go, on YouTube. I don't know. I didn't want to be on Facebook. I didn't know enough about YouTube. I wanted a community. So I went to TikTok because it was kind of smaller and I could do short videos, and because I wasn't real comfortable in front of the camera at that point. Well, that's not really true, but anyway. So I went over there so nobody knew where I was, because a lot of people, especially at that time, thought TikTok was the devil incarnate, because China was getting all of our information. Well, that's a whole nother story. So I went over there, and nobody I knew was on TikTok. So I got like 70 some thousand followers over there. I mean, I'm over there all the time too. But today I wanted to try if I could go live with my Starlink and my Dash, and it worked. Yay! It's about 22 years ago losing. Oh, I'm glad you're doing well. Yeah, you just never get over those things. My dad died in 1999, and it was 26 years ago. And I still think of him all the time. There's so many things that happen and you see, and it's like, oh, my dad would like that, or just so many things. Just so many things. So, yeah. Well, so that's the story of my life today. We drove for a long time, and I'm tired. Matrix is already asleep. It's time to eat. We gotta get up. But this is what I have two routines. If I'm not in a hurry and I'm gonna stay maybe for a day or two, then I get up, eat breakfast, we do all our stuff, we go out and play, blah blah blah, and then the rest of the day. But if I'm gonna travel and I know I'm gonna travel, then I'll get up. I won't even get dressed, or I'll brush my teeth and make my coffee and just start driving away. And that's probably what I'm gonna do tomorrow. And then, down the road, an hour or an hour and a half, I stop and do the dishes and wash my face and comb my hair. Kind of combed it today, and drive off. Yay! And that's what we did today. Right after we ran over the cows. I love being on an open range because you just never know. You can wake up in the morning, there's a cow standing right beside your van. I mean, I've had that happen before too. I was sitting outside in the morning, having my coffee outside, and half a dozen cows just came up and just stood there and like stared at me. I'm like, you want some coffee? You know, those were, I don't know, the cows today were black, and some of them had a white face, but they were totally black otherwise. But the ones that came up to me while I was having my coffee outside, they were brown, but they weren't steer longhorns like that you have in Texas. I don't know the names of cows, but anyway, so I've run into a lot of cows, a lot of cattle guards. That's for sure. A lot of cattle guards. But I love living on the road. I wouldn't. People say, "Aren't you sick of it?" I'm like, no. I think about what the alternative would be. Is if I didn't live on the road, what would I do? I mean, what's the choice? You gotta live somewhere, right? So would I live in an apartment? Anchors or Herefords? It it would probably I don't know. Are Herefords in the north? Because I mean, this would have been west, northwest somewhere. Hereford is a town called Hereford. And where are you? No, you have Scottish Longhorns. There's a town in Amarillo called Hereford, and they have Herefords, and it's a feedlot. Oh, I hate those. Hate those. But anyway, those were brown, and they were pretty curious. So these today they would just stand there and let Matrix was barking crazy, and they were like, "What? What's going on over there? What's that noise? What's that crazy dog doing in the window?" But as soon as he went out, and some more came by. Oh, you're in Washington. Okay. Some more came by. He went crazy outside, barking, running in circles, barking. But I'm like, don't go down there because those cows are way, way bigger than you. And so he didn't go down. He just barked, ran in circles and barked until finally I got him to come in. That's just the soda. You have to be careful when you do lives on TikTok. Yeah, I was Washington State. I was over there. I went to I get these confused because it's three different things. There's Olympus, Olympia, and Olympic. One of them is a city, one of them is a park, and one of them is a city park. One of them is a city. Oh, one of them is a mountain. So we got a city, a park, and a mountain, and I never can remember which one is which. Olympia, Olympic. No, I can't even remember the third one. Olympic, Olympia, Olympus. So yeah, I went to them all. But I really have no recollection of which one was which. But I did like the park. It was interesting though. Most parks you go in, you got a loop. Well, this park was like in three sections, and you're on the main road, and then you go off into one section, off into another, and then another. The one I really liked best was the rainforest. I thought that was really, really interesting. And of course, it rained. I guess that's what it does in the rainforest. But why would you have a rainforest in Washington State? I don't know, but it was there, and it was very, very beautiful. And of course, the dogs. A lot of places you can't take dogs on hiking trails anymore either. I did go hiking. Well, you'll love this one. I was boondocking at this place, and it was beautiful. It's interesting. Actual rainforest on the west. I went there. Deserts in the central, and pines. Oh wow. Oh, so it's has various everywhere, everything in it. That's really interesting. Yeah. Yeah, the rainforest was I really liked the rainforest. But I was staying at this place, Sheep Mountain, and it was a beautiful I got the best spot. It was beautiful. It was like, you know, this flat, big place, the mountain behind, big reservoir in front. It was just awesome. And there was a big fire pit there. It was just beautiful. Well, yes, you may ask a question. It rained, and I wasn't paying much attention. When I got up in the morning, my van was like totally surrounded. I was like it was in a mud puddle. And the water was this deep all the way around. I had to carry him out to go to the bathroom. And what was I going to do? I'm stuck. I could not move. I ended up staying there 3 days for the water to recede so that I could get out. And then the only reason I tried that time, because I tried the first day just to back up a little bit, because I could tell I was making it worse, so I just stopped. But after the third day, I said, I got to do something. So I backed up and I was able to get out because it was going to rain again. I'm like, I can't stay here a week. I'm out of food. How do you do doctor visits on medical on the road? Well, uh, I never go to the doctor. I don't have any reason to. I'm not sick. I do have a psychiatrist. Sorry. Uh, but I I don't know. I guess I have him wrapped around my finger or something. I only really go see him once a year, and he just keeps giving me prescriptions. But the few times I have had to go to a doctor, like I had a cold or one of those things, or just normal don't feel good stuff, I just go to a clinic. And my insurance is one that you don't need referrals. So if I had to go anything major, I could just go to any doctor. So yeah, getting stuck. Well, I don't like getting stuck. And you know what, Becca? I didn't have a shovel. You would think I would have all the tools, but I didn't have a shovel. So I went and bought a shovel. I went and bought a shovel. I have a shovel now. Probably never use it now. But I was stuck that time. I got stuck one other time when oh, thank you. I was in the desert and it was hard packed everywhere. It was during season, so there were a lot of people around, but not anybody real close because, as boondockers in our community, we tend to, if somebody is parked, like where I'm parked right now, if somebody came in here right now, they would park on the other side. We don't park close to each other, so there wasn't anybody that close. But I had been way down there, and I was time to leave. And um, the hard part about it is where is the road when you're in the desert? And I had followed the road in because you got off and you got on the road, but to find the road to going out was a whole lot more difficult. So I thought that looked like a road, and as soon as I started down it, I'm like, oh, you're in trouble. I was in the desert and I got stuck in the sand. So I was stuck in the sand. Traction pads would have been good. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Yeah, yeah. You have to remember something, Becca, and that is I have very little room for storage. So, but anyway, I got stuck in the sand and I knew I was going nowhere and I didn't have a shovel. I had my two dogs. I'm like, well, it was a schoolie over there a ways. And I said, well, I bet they got a shovel. So I'm just going to walk over there and I'm going to borrow a shovel from them. So I walked on over and I was like, hello, the house. And because you don't never walk right in. Uh, and I said, do you have a shovel I can borrow? And they looked and they looked over where I came from. They said, you stuck? And I'm like, yeah, can I borrow your shovel? And they're like, come on, guys. And there was 5 guys. So the 5 guys brought the shovel. They came over and they got me out. So just another community thing, right? 5 guys and a schoolie and a shovel. So it was really good. Yeah, storage. I got no room. I can't even have as many shoes as I want. I don't know why I say that. I have I these beige Crocs. I love Crocs. And I put them on. I started wearing them about June this year. I got them out. I liked them. I put them on. I have them on right now. I've worn them every day since the beginning of June. And I have 10 other pairs of shoes here. I might just as well sell them. No, I know 5 guys. I'd rather take 5 guys than a shovel any day, right? But I did get a shovel just in case if I got stuck again and there were no 5 guys around. But people help. They help each other, when we're out. But you know what's interesting? I have found that because I'm a full timer, and I have found that you can really tell the difference between the full timers and the weekenders or the the uh, couple of weeks of vacation kind of thing. There's a big difference between us. One of the biggest difference I've noticed is pack it in, pack it out. I mean, we pack it in and pack it out. You make sure you don't leave anything, and yeah, nomads helping nomads. Jeannie, absolutely. Jeannie Jacinto, Jacinto. Yeah. Um, and I have found that weekenders, not so much. I mean, we always, our rule is pack it in, pack it out, and actually take anything. Oh, it's Jeanette. It's spelled Jeannie. But Jeanette, that's good. Pack it in, pack it out. Weekenders don't necessarily do that. And when you talked about being scared before, I'm not scared with full timers or anybody like that, but the weekenders, they can get a little crazy, and they leave messes. We was at Walmart the other day, and it was, you know what? It was a really nice Walmart. You love? Are you, Jeanette? Are you a nomad? Do you live on the road? Anyway, I was at Walmart, and it was a really nice Walmart, and they welcome overnighters. They want us to stay, and it's a big, big parking lot. You are? Yes. Yay! What part of the country are you traveling right now? That was a he doesn't like motorcycles. It's you, Jeanette. Yeah. Um. Okay. Well, what is that? Your last name? I knew that. Are you getting ready to head south? It must be getting cold in Oregon by now, so I'm heading south because it's getting cold. Your nickname is Jeannie. I just know you by flying by the seat of my pants too. In 3 weeks, you're leaving? Yeah, it was cold this morning, and I'm in Colorado, and it's my sound glitched. You sure that isn't Matrix barking? Uh, and it's getting cold here. I'm gonna start heading. I'm going down through Colorado. By the time I get to New Mexico, then it will be, the weather will be good again. And from New Mexico, I'm gonna go down way down into South Texas. You're leaving the coastal area. You're gonna go explore a little bit of Oregon before you go into California to see your nephew. That's good. Becca, this is Jeanette. I know her from TikTok. We boondocked together before, actually. We spent 3 weeks together over in Flagstaff, something like that. Is it glitching again? I'm trying on my Starlink here, Jeanette. I just have it on the dash in my van and pointing north, and there's a big mountain right in front of me. And so I didn't know if I was going to get a good enough signal going over to that mountain, but apparently I did. Apparently I did. So, yeah, I'm going to go back. I'm going to go down to South Texas, down by Big Bend. I got some friends down there, and I'll visit them before I go back up to Amarillo for the holidays. So we camped together for about 3 weeks in Flagstaff. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. We did it in Idaho. Right. Uh, no, I didn't make it. Maybe another year. I complained about the gas over there, but you know what? I paid $3.45 a gallon today. When I left Maine, I paid $3.29 a gallon, something like that, and it has been more than $3 all the way across. So I don't know what it is down in Texas now. It's usually cheaper down there than it is in a lot of other places, but the gas, and I think maybe that's why I've been spending more time in places, like stay 3-4 days, because I don't like filling up for gas every day. It was $75 today, and I'm like, what? This is crazy. Hey, come on in here. Becca, thank you for coming on. Good to meet you. And I'm testing on my Starlinks. 97%. Excellent. Excellent. Well, thanks for coming on and all the conversation. I really appreciate it. Come back. Come back again. I'm going to be doing this more often now that I know that my Starlink is going to work just on the dash rather than me having to get up onto the roof all the time. So, yeah. Look, it's Miss Jeanette. Isn't he cute? Genie. He's so cute. Aren't you cute, baby? He's been a real pain. Nice to meet. Yeah. Thank you so much. Come back again. I'm sorry your brother sold it, got the VW van, fixed it up and sold it. Sorry about that. Matrix. Becca says bye. You say bye? Say bye. Jeanette, you weren't on here and I was talking about the cows this morning. Open range, cows everywhere. Matrix went crazy. Oh yeah, well I'll go to Texas for Thanksgiving and Christmas, and then I'll go to Portside after that. That's usually my routine. But I'm not going to go. I go to Quartzsite January, first week in January. I think last year I left right after the day after Christmas or something in Amarillo and went to Quartzsite. But that's where you're going now, right? You're going to leave there in 3 weeks. So it's the end of October. And then you headed right for Quartzsite. Well, you're going to do is that 3 weeks counting, doing some exploring. He's grown up so much. He's not big though. He's 13, maybe 14 pounds. He's just little. He barks a lot. He barks at things. He barks at things like tree stumps that shouldn't be there. You know, they were there yesterday, and they're not there today. That kind of thing. So, so yeah, I'm planning on seeing you in Quartzsite this year. Oh, you did? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I posted that in the story. Yeah, you heard him in the background. But they were mooing, lowing. I guess that's what they call them, right? They're lowing. Long before that, and I heard him, but Matrix was sleeping. And so I didn't wake him up. And finally I looked out and there they were standing right there. And then he saw him. He went crazy. So anyway, yeah, I'll see you there too. Yeah, I've been on here almost an hour just testing out my Starlink. And I thank you all for stopping by and coming on and whatever. And now I know that I can do this. Then I'll probably be back on here and there doing stuff. So anyway, I'm going to hang up and go feed the dog. Matrix, are you hungry? Do you want to eat? Do you want to eat? You should see his face. Yeah, I want to eat. I want to eat. I want to eat. Do you want to eat? Come here. Come say bye. Come say bye to Miss Jeanette. Can you do that? Come say goodbye. Over here. Come here. Goodbye. No, not out the window. Right here. Right here. There you go. You're going to cruise Oregon a little bit and then going to go see my nephew. But yeah, does that count the 3 weeks? Or you're not going to start even Oregon you'd be in December. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Yep. Well, I won't be there until first week in January, I guess, probably, or the last week in December. And then I'll stay there. Although sometimes I go down to Port Aransas before I go there. I don't know. I can't plan that far ahead. I do know that I'm going to Breckenridge in the next day or two, and that's all I know. That's all I know. Anyway, I gotta hang up, go feed my dog, see what's going on here. Do we have any other things we have to do before we call it a day so we can get up in the morning and take off and head. I'm in Colorado already, but head further into the great state of Colorado. So thank you all for coming on, saying hello, and I hope to see you all soon. And I'll see you in person, Jeanette. Not too long, couple months. So anyway, are you ready, Matrix? You want to go eat? You want to eat? Okay. Love you guys. Bye.